we go to that payable, we just show it, debit to payable, credit cash. When you have to actually send the money in with your 941 or whatever. Okay, in this textbook, state unemployment, we're figuring it on the first 7,000 for each employee. So again, you have to look at their cumulative earnings to see who you had to figure, whose salary you had to add into that total in order to pay your FUTA or your SUTA.
So once it hits like,
what's that?
I was going to say, so once it hits like whatever ceiling it is where you are, then you don't pay it on your employees anymore for that year?
Right, right.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. And once they hit 7,000, each individual hits 7,000, then you don't pay it on them anymore. You don't have to figure their salary in when you're figuring how much you would owe. Right.
And that's yearly?
Yearly. Starts over at the first of the next year.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Okay. And you can see in this person started off making this amount, so the cumulative was this. They're still having to pay it on that payroll amount. Still having to pay it, right? Because he hadn't reached 7,000. Still having to pay it. Then when it gets down here and he's pretty close and he earns 560, which makes his total 7,280, they only have to pay on the amount to reach 7,000, which would be how much? $280 of it.
80, yeah.
Yeah. Okay? So it only goes up to when they reach that cap or that particular amount. Same with Social Security. Okay. All right. So it never, once you hit the 7,000, you don't have to pay it on them anymore, and it just, the taxable earnings for this part stays at 7,000. Okay. Don't have to pay it on that amount. Okay, and again, you have to deposit it. It has to go in electronically, quarterly, or the last day of the month following the end of the quarter. And now they're requiring everybody, no matter what the size of the company, to do it electronically. It's going to be interesting for some people that don't really know how to use it. They're going to have to get help, aren't they? So that's what y'all can do to earn a little extra money. You can go in there and say, I can help you get set up to do your taxes. And one tax season, and I had another job altogether. I earned nearly $7,000 in that 3 months just doing it at night, just doing taxes and doing things for these small businesses that didn't, way back when computers first came out. So, you can do it.
My best friend's mom ran a Jackson Hewitt club.
Yeah, they can either work for somebody that's already got a firm or you can do it yourself. I had my own business.
She made...
It's a lot.
She got a percentage of everybody they did.
I did that
one. She
one.
worked 4 months.
Yep.
And that was work.
Yeah.
She made enough.
You make enough, you don't have to.
She made enough money.
No kidding. Very lucrative.
We didn't see her for 4 months.
Yeah. Something like that. If you're a tax accountant, then it works for the, 4 months? They start probably in November, December through the end of April or May. For some people that they may be open, but they don't, the bulk of their business is done during those 4 months. And you can do it out of your home. I mean, I was doing it, that was over 20 years ago, when I was making $35 for filling out a person and 40 short form. Yeah. Sure. So anyway, if the unemployment tax is calculated each quarter, you'll notice that they require 0.8% is the federal FUTA percentage. Deposits required, more than 500 of it is owed, so they do have to send it in if they get 500 before that time, before the quarterly thing is due. The Form 940EZ, this is just what they fill out to send it in. You can look at that in your book. I'm not going to just go back over this except for the things I think. You show the compensation, you show the amount of your FUTA, you multiply it out, that's how much you owe. It's just a multiplication, filling in the blanks. A workman comp, we've talked about that. That is an insurance premium that is you pay on your employees. The amount you have to pay on the employees depends on how dangerous the job is, right? Well, I don't know, but they're coming. Ask somebody outside. I don't know what they're doing. I think I'll go look and see. Pay an estimate annual okay, 2 ways to handle workman's comp insurance. They can pay it in advance, premium, or at the beginning of the year they can make monthly payments. If you depends on the kind of business you have. Office work, their premium's not going to be as high as shipping, right? So they'll give you the rates on the people and tell you how to base it. It usually is based on the amount of money they make. So if office workers, it'd be like 45 cents per $100 of the labor cost you'd have to pay for this insurance. But let's say on shipping, look at it, $1.25 per $100. Because it's a more dangerous job, they're more likely to get hurt, right?
Looks like any insurance.
Just like any insurance, the higher the risk, the more it's going to cost. Just like on automotive, right? If you're a high risk, you pay more than somebody that's considered a low risk. Okay. So anyway, and then again, it's considered an expense, and we just pay it out in cash. Take it out of the cash, pay it off as an expense. But it is an expense to the employer. And then at the end of the year, if you overpaid by prepaying your premium, you get to change it or get money back or have to pay more. Adjustments are made then. Okay? All right. Yeah, if you overpaid your premium, you made an estimate and you say, oh, I think my premium's got to be $1,000, you go ahead and pay it. But then at the end of the year, you have more people coming in and the premium should have been more, then you can pay it at the end of the year.
So the federal government underwrites it.
Yeah, yeah,
And James O wanted her to have a tetanus shot,
yeah.
and he just paid it out of pocket.
Well, yeah.
Do they still have to claim that there was a work injury if they don't?
I don't know. And they may have filed it and just went in and paid it anyway. An incident report? I don't know.
Because he just said, just
Go ahead and I'll pay for it, yeah. Well, yeah, and it doesn't look, if it's not a lot or going to require future. Okay, read very carefully the internal control over payroll part, okay?
Is unemployment mandatory?
What's that?
Unemployment insurance mandatory?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Okay, thanks.
yes, it is. Unemployment is mandatory, so is workman's comp. Yes, it is.
I meant workman's comp, that's the one I meant.
Well, workman's
Okay,
comp
good.
too. Yes, it is. Remember, read through the internal controls on payroll. They're the same as when we control cash, but you need to read through them. Being careful, pre-numbered everything. Remember that rule. Pre-number it all so you can keep up with that. Really want you to know what I'm going to show you. You're going to have to know that for your test online.
Well, you just said you were going to the whole chapter, but
I went ahead and went over